Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Ken Rogers. There's a Kansas company that's a leader in unmanned aircraft, and they recently donated some equipment to Wichita State University to help teach and train upcoming pilots of this emerging technology. We'll be joined by Matt Martin, Vice President of Operation for AgEagle. Now, this could be a game changer for production agriculture. We'll also have features from Kansas Corn, Kansas Wheat, and the Kansas Farm Bureau, and our update from the Kansas Livestock Association, as well as market information from Pinion, a division of KCO ISA.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, kfb.org. And the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat, online at kswheat.com.
And agricultural news from agview.net. According to the Association of Equipment Manufacturers, the sale of all tractors in August in the U.S. up 10% compared to the same month a year ago. For the eighth month so far in 2021, a total of 220,068 tractors have been sold. That compares to 194,301 sold through August of 2020. That's a 13% increase year to date. For the month, the two-wheel drive smaller tractors, those under 40 horsepower, up 8% from a year ago. The 40 and under 100 horsepower, up 5%. Sale of two-wheel drive 100 plus horsepower, up 38%. And the big four-wheel drives are up 40%. Now, for the 8 months, the two-wheel drive smaller tractors are up 12% over last year. 40 and under horsepower, up 14%. Sale of the two-wheel drive 100 plus, up 27%. Four-wheel drive tractors up 39% year to date. Combine sales up 20% for the month, and sale of combine for the first 8 months totaled 3,562. That's an increase of 14% over the same period in 2020. Well, anyone who's ever lived in Kansas knows that the weather can change very quickly. And that's a fact that's not lost on Chip Redmond. And that's why he thinks the Kansas Mesonet is especially valuable to the state. Redmond is a meteorologist and does manage the Kansas Mesonet. He said the program is working to continue to spread its multiple resources across Kansas for its citizens. He notes that 75% Mesonet stations are collecting weather information in Kansas and providing it real time to the public via the Kansas Mesonet website. Mesonet is a term that refers to a network of regional weather stations. And in Kansas, Redmond said one goal is to make sure that no part of the state is underrepresented, especially due to the quick and varied weather, as we all know, between short distances. We'll find more ag news at agview.net. Stay with us, Kansas-based AgEagle, when we return.
The Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by Kansas Grain Sorghum. Growers working together. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
And joining us now is Matt Martin, who is the Vice President of Operations for a company out of Wichita called AgEagle. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Well, you're welcome. Good afternoon.
Now, as we talk about AgEagle, maybe some folks have heard about it, And obviously, I think a lot of folks have learned about some of these situations with drones or the unmanned aircraft. And really, I mean, I guess as a fanboy, I will say the success your company's had has been tremendous. But let's take a step back and tell us what is AgEagle.
Okay, well, I'll be happy to. And yes, it is a rather dynamic industry, and it's really what attracted me as well. So AgEagle, as a company, has been around for probably 10 to 11 years now. We actually started in Neodesha, Kansas, and about a year ago, last summer in 2020, the company decided to relocate its corporate offices and manufacturing facility to here in Wichita, which is where I joined the company. And really a couple fold. One, to take advantage of Wichita's talent background. Obviously, Wichita being the proverbial air capital of the world, it's got one of the most vast talent pools, both from a manufacturing, engineering capability, really take advantage of that, and to stay with our Kansas roots. So we moved to Wichita. Since that time, we have diversified to a number of ways, several corporate level acquisitions. In January, we announced the acquisition of a company called Microsets, which is a high-end drone sensor company that's based out of Seattle. And in the April timeframe, completed the acquisition of a company called Measure, which is really called Measure Ground Control, which is a software as a service entity that allows us to provide customers the ability to manage and control their fleets, flight planning, those type of things. So that's what we come with over the last probably year and a half, and even 10 years back. We're got a foundational base in agriculture. That's how we started, providing drone type services for agriculture base, and really it's one of the key areas as we go forward. Going forward, we use the term full stack as a full stack solution provider to really agriculture, energy, construction, and government business segments. It's really is how can we provide what I'll refer to as a turnkey total solution. So as a customer, you come to us, we provide you a solution that goes out and does the mission that you have, be it in that agricultural monitoring, crop health, things like that. Energy, maybe could be high energy transmission line inspections, construction surveillance, and then a number of tactics for government customers as well. So that's just the brief background of where we've been and who we are now.
We're talking with Matt Martin, who is Vice President of Operations for AgEagle. And we're going to take a quick break and come back and kind of get to the meat of the matter why we're talking, because they're investing in higher education in Kansas. So we'll do that in just a moment.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Livestock Association, supporting members' business interests and meeting consumer demands. KLA.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. And Kansas Corn, building the future at kansascorn.com.
And our guest is Matt Martin, who is Vice President of Operations for AgEagle based in Wichita. And what kind of caught my eye in learning more about your company, but also is you and the company has made a commitment to and donated some of these UAVs to Wichita State as they develop programming for that next generation and really the current generation of folks that are using this technology. Why'd you decide to do that?
Well, it's one thing, education is a source that helps us all long term. And as a company, we're no better than the people that we have. And we're always looking for the best talent, the best knowledge, experience. One of the factors that got us to Wichita as a company was the proximity to a number of things, one of which is Wichita State University, Wichita State University Tech, National Institutes of Aviation Research. All those are resources that we want to take advantage of and to help. Earlier this year, WSU Tech reached out and described what they were doing to potentially start a new unmanned air vehicle program, a drone program per se, from WSU Tech. I participated with them briefly to look at their curriculum, made some suggestions, and we offered up our support to them that says, yes, that as a company, that was extremely critical for us to be able to take advantage of something like that from a workforce standpoint availability. About a month and a half ago, one of their faculty members that I had made contact through that process contacted me and says, hey, do you have any drones that his request was, do you have any damaged drones that we could use for classroom agents like that? And I offered that we had some intact drones. These are our heritage AgEagle fixed wing drone that we'd be more than happy to donate. And really it's to help in the classroom setting to understand what really goes into an unmanned vehicle, how do they work, how do you take them apart? So it's our small help to invest in WSU Tech to help that education process, because we know we'll get the long-term benefit back in better employees.
So with the growth that you've seen and the other things that you're doing, will Kansas be that leader with folks like AgEagle and others to be really that focal point of UAS here in America?
Well, I like to think so. Obviously, the industry is pretty vast right now. The growth potential is phenomenal, but it's also a very fragmented industry. And as I said earlier, one of the reasons that we as a company relocated to Wichita, the air capital world, I think that's got great potential to be the air capital of the UAV system. So we know we have a hand in that. We know we've got a lot to work hard to do that, but I see great potential.
Well, Matt, how can folks get more information about AgEagle and all the things that you do?
So probably the best way is, we've got our company website has a lot of good information. We're constantly updating that, providing that, one of the nuances of AgEagle as a publicly traded company, we are unique in that we are publicly traded. There are some limitations to how much we can share as far as what the future holds for us when we're doing. But our website does give a lot of information as to our background, who we are, what we do. And as also, you can contact us through the website. We'll be more than happy to describe anything or even talk to potential customers and needs of how we could help fulfill their needs and roles as well.
Matt Martin is the Vice President of Operations for AgEagle. He's joined us. Stay with us. We'll have more in just a moment.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Hi, I'm Nikki Kirkhoff, and I am a part of the Kansas Collegiate Corn Academy. I'm in class 4, and we just got back from a trip from Washington, D.C., where we got to meet with a lot of industry professionals about the American agriculture. We mainly honed in on the Kansas corn industry, but we got to touch on a lot of other aspects as well. We were out there for a few days, and we got to meet with John Deere and National Corn Growers Association, the U.S. Grains Council, Torrey and Associates, and a lot of other great industry professionals. We got to talk about the trade between all the countries and the policies that go into that. We got to go in with lobbyists and hear what they do on a day-to-day basis. We also got to hear about the right to repair with John Deere and all the issues facing them right now. We also got to meet with Tracy Mann's office staff, which was very interesting. And we got to learn what they do on a daily basis and the policies that they are working on right now and the committees that he is a part of. Kansas Corn has been a great learning opportunity for me. I've got to go on several learning trips throughout the state of Kansas and now to Washington, D.C. They also have a scholarship program, which is available to students. If you're interested in applying for the next class of Collegiate Academy or scholarship, you can find them at the Kansas Corn website. But thank you.
What if sustainability were synonymous with U.S. soy? If energy efficiency, water quality, and soil health help define U.S. soy's value, that future is here, the time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is committing to sustainability that's achievable, worthwhile, and enduring. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
The 2021 Kansas Wheat Recipe Book is now available. This year's book features the winning recipes from the 2021 National Festival of Breads, including savory Thai peanut sauce rolls, strawberry lemonade swirls, and many more. Savory Thai peanut sauce rolls was the champion recipe in this year's National Festival of Breads, which was held virtually in June. Anna Barth from Long Beach, California, created the rolls by integrating Thai ingredients and techniques into her recipe. It features Thai red curry paste, coconut milk, and peanut butter. Maggie Schlichter from Clay Center, Kansas, took the Youth People's Choice Award with her strawberry lemonade swirls, a flavor combination that was unique for her. She used sugar substitute in the filling, dough, and glaze. Other finalist recipes, including apricot raisin babka ring, hearty wild rice and tart cherry bread, and blueberry blossom tree braids, are included in this year's book. In addition, 7 honorable mentions round out the 12 recipes featured this year. All of these recipes are available on the website at nationalfestivalofbreads.com. The free annual recipe booklet is a tradition stretching back nearly 6 decades, celebrating Kansas as the wheat state in the breadbasket of America. Some collect the recipe books as part of a collection. Others use recipes from the book in their county fairs the following year. Recipes are available and copies can be requested at kswheat.com/recipebook, or you can write to the Kansas Wheat Office at 1990 Kimball Avenue, Manhattan, Kansas 66502 to request a free copy of this year's recipe booklet.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Official estimates for this year's grain sorghum production continue to roll out as USDA released its October WASDE and crop production reports on October 12th. Extending a positive trend and reflecting a good growing season throughout the sorghum belt, grain sorghum production is forecast higher overall from last month, with a 2.6 bushel per acre increase in yield to 72.3 bushels per acre on average. Last month, September WASDE also increased planted acreage estimates from this summer to 7.3 million acres, a 25% increase over last year. Kansas is set to lead the nation once again in sorghum acreage at 3.6 million acres planted and boost production to an estimated 268 million bushels this harvest season. That's up nearly 13% over last year. Increased production also means opportunities for the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission in concert with the National Sorghum Checkoff to foster markets for your crops. The Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission is led by a board of farmers elected by farmers to steward checkoff resources in our state. If you would like to be involved on the commission, your chance is quickly approaching as the Kansas Department of Agriculture will hold commodity elections in the eastern tier of Kansas this year. Growers in eastern Kansas who plan to campaign for a seat on the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission should be gathering petition signatures now to meet the November 30th, 2021 filing deadline. The upcoming 2022 election will cover Districts 7, 8, and 9, or the eastern third of Kansas. To be eligible to run for the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission, the candidate must have been actively engaged in growing grain sorghum within the preceding 5 years and may only represent the district of their primary residence. And to hear more information about sorghum in Kansas, listen to the Sorghum State Podcast, sponsored by the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission. Find the latest episodes and much more at ksgrainsorghum.org. And for Kansas Grain Sorghum, this is Adam York.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
In response to a request from Congress and USDA, the Texas A&M University Agricultural and Food Policy Center has completed an extensive report on the U.S. cattle market. The 180-plus page report is the result of proceedings from a workshop hosted by the center on cattle markets this past summer in Kansas City. The report puts into context a variety of disruptions in the cattle market, including the 2019 fire at the Tyson plant in Holcomb and the COVID-19 pandemic's effect on packing plants and the supply chain. It is presented in 10 chapters that range in topics from price discovery to the use of alternative marketing arrangements to market transparency to packing capacity issues. According to Texas A&M ag economist David Anderson, the viewpoints of cattle industry stakeholders on solutions to current concerns about cattle markets were highly diverse. He noted there was general agreement that price discovery is important to the functioning of cattle markets. However, Anderson said agreement on any related policy changes remains an open question, and there is also concern about the unintended negative consequences of otherwise well-intentioned policy changes. The report showed general agreement among cattle market economists consulted that price discovery in fed cattle markets still is robust. However, it was noted that additional transparency in general would be good as it could help build confidence in the market.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Imagine turning soybean oil, used cooking oils, and waste animal fats into fuel so amazing it drives U.S. jobs and our economy forward. Learn more about biodiesel at americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
Good day. I'm Derek Hermish with Pinion, a division of Keiko Isom. Taking a look at this week's markets for the third week of October. And in the recent market moves, we have put together a couple of bearish USDA reports for corn and soybeans, not for wheat. And we have seen corn and soybeans take a dip in that time, especially soybeans. But we did see China come in and buy in a pretty decent way, where it looks like potentially they found some value when we got down around $12 on the nearby November beans, and for a brief period under 12 into the 11s. But now that we have rallied back quite a bit on the backs of some sales and maybe just on an overdue need for pushing too far too fast, you do have some harder decisions to make. And decisions probably will be harder this year for some producers out there. Last year, it was an unexpected rally that took root and kept going. But it felt easier to sell into for a long time because things had been so dead and so depressing before that. But this year, everybody's expectations are raised, and rightfully so. But if you're trying to get back to the summertime high prices, you could be left with a big bucket of disappointment because things are not what they were last year. We do have some things stacking up a little bearish. South America weather for now isn't near as troublesome as it was last year at this time. So when you lean on making those decisions to sell, and if you are afraid of missing out and your expectations are raised as they should be, if you want to look at some potential option plays, such as selling and buying a call back, and you're looking for somebody to talk to about that, don't be afraid to give us a call. 888-452-8751. I'm Derek Hermish. Have a good day.
That's our show this week. Be social with us at KansasAgReport.net or on our social media channels. Be safe out there as we wrap up harvest. Hope you've had a good one. I'm Ken Rogers. We'll see you next week on the Kansas Ag Report.
No one plans to get sick or injured. But when life happens, it's important you and your family are protected. Kansas Farm Bureau health plans are there to provide continued health care coverage to meet your needs. Choose from a broad range of individual and family plans. And if you're over 65, we have options for you too. Learn more at kfbhealthplans.com or contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.